Hello to the YouTube universe, and thank you for joining our live broadcast. We will stand by just for a few brief moments while we wait for others to join. Please feel free to type any questions in the chat console as we go through the discussion. I'll try to answer as many as I can. If not before, then at the very least after. Here we go. Let's get started. So welcome to the Night Watch Show. We're broadcasting this message to express, first of all, our sincere thanks to all of our viewers and especially our valued subscribers who make this show possible. And with your help, we have reached over 1 million views and over 1 million watch minutes in our first 24 days on YouTube. This is our first YouTube channel and our first YouTube video posting. So we're very excited about how fast our show is growing in the YouTube universe and look forward to bringing you far more in the very near future. If you have not yet subscribed, please do so now if you would like ongoing updates on new episodes. We cover topics ranging from breaking news, international and local issues, business and investing tips, fitness, diet, health and safety tips, travel, and we will soon be launching live interviews as well. For today's episode, we're going to talk about fitness and diet. And remember, please, if you have any questions, type them in the box and we will do our best to respond during or after the broadcast. Now, first of all, I just need to admit to all of you that many of these tips I'm about to give are tips that I myself have used very effectively throughout my life to achieve peak levels of fitness and health. However, I often get too busy, find many excuses, and quickly fall out of shape. That is where I find myself today. So I am hoping this episode will not only inspire you to diet and get fit, but perhaps it will have the same effect on me as well. At this time, I find myself gaining weight, not exercising, eating very unhealthy food, losing muscle mass, and replacing it with fat. I go through this cycle a lot, from top health and fitness level to where I am today and back and forth. One of the hardest things once you're out of shape is getting back in shape. One of the easiest things to do when you're in shape is to keep it going. But for some reason, a lot of us, including myself, tend to slip and fall out of fitness way too often. And lately, there have been a lot of reasons globally for us to do that, including many that are working from home, for example, or even under quarantine. So very easy to get out of shape, very hard to get back into shape. And there's no better time than now to start. So let's talk more. Now, the good news for me personally is I've been down this road many times and I've learned how to navigate back to a healthy and fit state very fast. I can go from totally out of shape to combat-ready fitness in about 3 months. As a mixed martial arts enthusiast who has been in the ring countless times, I take fitness very seriously. However, the tips I'm about to provide apply to anyone and everyone who is healthy and able to follow these steps. And you should see results in a week with more dramatic results in days and weeks to follow. It does not only apply to mixed martial arts, it applies really to everybody. You will learn to love the feeling of every day shedding excess fat, toning muscles, feeling more energetic and overall more fit, and having your clothes feel a bit looser rather than a bit tighter every day. First, it's best to not let this happen. Even if you're in lockdown, work from home, or even quarantine, it's best to keep up fitness and diet. You can work out at home. Many fitness centers are now offering options to keep in shape with web-based training, and you can definitely find plenty of workout videos online and, of course, content on YouTube. But once you find yourself out of shape, or for those of you who have managed to stay fit, either way, there's no better time than now to begin with proper diet and exercise. If you just set aside about 25 minutes each day for a super intense cardio-based fitness routine that you can do anywhere, that will go a very long way to maintaining fitness, getting back into shape, and burning some calories. Make sure you're healthy and able to do this. If not, or if you have any concerns, ask your doctor first. That's our disclaimer. Try this at your own risk. The key is to not stop until you've completed the 25 minutes. For example, start with a 2-minute fast-paced stretching. Fast-paced stretching means not a little bit of stretching and then you check your text messages and a little more stretching, but 2 minutes of full body stretching. And I won't go through every stretch during this particular episode, perhaps in the future, but we're talking full body stretching, your legs, your feet, your arms, your hands, your shoulder, your neck, and of course your back. And you should break a light sweat. Shouldn't be too intense, but you want to keep moving not take a break until 2 minutes have passed and you've really gone throughout all of your various parts of your body and stretched everything you can, including, of course, your neck and your back and everywhere. Then take a brief 30-second break. Make sure to have water, drink some water. And the next 10 minutes will be where it gets a bit intense. That's where you want to combine various types of high-intensity interval training components, such as jumping jacks, sit-ups, push-ups, crunches, and squats. If you're not sure what those are, go ahead and look them up and you'll find out quite easily. And you can rotate it in whichever way you can manage. You can also plug in different types of exercises. But the key to this is to not just do one push-up and take a rest, but to do the push-ups consistently back-to-back without stopping. Do the sit-ups back-to-back without stopping. Do the crunches and the jumping jacks back-to-back without stopping. So we're running at an intense pace based on your personal fitness level and your personal pace. When you first start, you might only be able to do 2 or 3 push-ups. That's okay. You might be able to do 200 push-ups. That's great too. But what you want to do is push yourself to the limit at a fast pace and don't stop. So essentially, the exercises I mentioned, you can replace with other various types of exercises, but just as a starting point, jumping jacks, sit-ups, push-ups, crunches, and squats. Now, a minute of each, for example, you can do it in time elements where you do 1 minute, 2 minutes, 3 minutes of each, and you rotate. So you could, for example, do a minute of jumping jacks, a minute of sit-ups, a minute of push-ups, a minute of crunches, a minute of squats. Then you go back to jumping jacks and so on. Once you finish one cycle, you can take about a 10 to 30 second break, depending on your fitness level, and then do another rotation next. So you can go through each of those exercises, take a 10 to 30 second break, then go through each of those exercises again. That would be based on a time interval. Another option would be to base it on a certain specific number of repetitions. For example, maybe the number's 10 push-ups, 10 jumping jacks, 10 sit-ups. Maybe the number's 20, maybe the number's 5, maybe the number's 100. You've got to start somewhere. You've got to be able to do it, and you've got to be able to do it at a pretty fast pace. If your number's 5, that's okay. You start with 5, and you move on to the next, you move on to the next. You go through each of those exercises, then you take your 10 to 30 second break, have some water if you'd like, and then continue another set. You'd want to continue this for 10 straight minutes. And remember, you can substitute these basic moves for others that you may know. If you're into boxing and you have gloves and a bag, you can punch that bag. If you're into other types of exercise that you can do in your own home or wherever you're working out, you can use that instead. The key is to do it intensely and back-to-back and fast. That's the key to this, is it's not kind of a sit in the corner and do a little bit of exercise and wait a few minutes. You've got to keep it going to achieve the peak level of cardio effectiveness. So once you've finished the very intense 10 minutes, if you've done it right, you should be completely covered in sweat. And really you'll feel it and you'll know that you're in the zone, or your heart's pumping, you're covered in sweat. At that point, you can take a 30 to 60 second break as needed after completion based on your fitness level. You may need a bit longer, you may not need as much. Then do 2 more minutes of stretching. Go through your whole body once again, as we said in the beginning, your hands, your arms, your legs, your feet, your back, your neck. You want to stretch everything for 2 minutes. Take a 30-second break, have some more water. And then after that, you'd want to do something very intense to finish off this workout. So, for example, running in place with high knees is a great way to do it. More jumping jacks. You can also rotate in sit-ups at a very fast pace. So fast sit-ups, not slow sit-ups. You can do the type of sit-ups where you're going just, you put your feet under your bed or a dresser or someplace to hold your feet and you go straight up and down. Or you can actually use your elbows where your right elbow will touch your left knee, your left elbow will touch your right knee, and kind of rotate it. But the key is to do it fast as you can, and to essentially do that for as long as you can. It's kind of the final burn portion of this exercise. Now, once you finish that, you should, and I would recommend at least 5 minutes of that. Once you finish that, you should really be a ball of sweat at this point, which is where you want to be, regardless of your fitness level. You want to push yourself at this point. Then you take another 30 to 60 second break and finish with a final 2 minute light stretching, more slow paced. At this point, it's not fast. It's more of a slower pace to once again stretch your entire body one last time. All in all, you should do this for up to 25 minutes. It'd be okay if it was at least 20 to 25 minutes. Range is fine. And depending on the rest between sets and the intervals, it can take a little longer, but it should be at least 20 to 25 minutes. You can do this every day. You can do this a minimum of 3 to 5 days per week. I definitely recommend at least 4 to 5 days if possible. So that's very important just to keep your cardiovascular system optimized, also to burn calories, to tone up, to stay fit, and to do so in the privacy of your own home or office or wherever you may find yourself. Hotel room or traveling, you can do this really just about anywhere. I don't think you can do it in an airplane restroom. It'd be a little cramped, but just about any other place you can probably pull this off. So next, let's talk about diet. Diet is very, very important. And the reason diet's important is no matter how intensely you do the exercise, without proper diet, you're just not going to lose weight. And if the goal is to lose weight, and even if it's not just for the sake of overall healthiness, it's very, very important to have the right diet. So of course, you should avoid fast food, avoid fried food. One of my favorite diets personally is the ketogenic diet, also called the keto diet. It's a low-carb, high-fat, moderate protein diet. What I love about the keto diet is that it's very livable. It's very manageable. You get to eat a lot. You're not starving. It's not a starvation diet. There is a little bit of a curve that you go through where it's a bit challenging. And after it being a bit challenging, suddenly you get really into it and you feel better than you could ever imagine. There are many versions of the keto diet, but what I do is basically forget about carbs, eat salads, grilled chicken breast, lots of Bragg's apple cider vinegar. You'd want to get the bottle that says, in quotes, "with the mother." That's on the label. And when you get hungry, a great snack would be almonds or avocado, very satisfying, for example. Now let's dig in a little bit deeper. So foods to eat on the keto diet. These are foods that the majority of your diet should be based on. So as far as meat, red meat, steak, ham, sausage, bacon, chicken, and turkey all work fine. Fatty fish such as salmon, trout, tuna, and even mackerel are great. Eggs, look for pasteurized or omega-3 whole eggs are ideal. And as far as butter and cream, grass-fed when possible. Cheese, unprocessed cheese is important. Cheddar cheese, for example, blue cheese, mozzarella cheese, or goat cheese. Plenty of nuts and seeds, so almonds, walnuts, flaxseed, pumpkin seeds, chia seeds, etc. Now, those will really save you, especially as an effective snack between meals when you find yourself craving something. A few handfuls of almonds will go a long way. Healthy oils are important. So primarily extra virgin olive oil is great. Coconut oil and avocado oil all work very well. Avocados, if you have access to them, very satisfying as a snack. So whole avocados or freshly made guacamole, not the processed type you might buy in the store, but it's really best to make it yourself because who knows what else is mixed in there. Low carb veggies. So mostly green veggies, tomatoes, onions, and peppers. There are some veggies that are the wrong veggies, so you want to focus on that type of veggie, the low carb variety. And as far as condiments, the good news, you can use salt, pepper, and various healthy herbs and spices. There's no real issue or limitation. We shouldn't have a lot of salt for general health purposes, but salting things up, plenty of pepper, healthy herbs, and as many spices as you'd like, and even hot sauce is all fine. So here is a list of foods I'll review that really need to be reduced or, if possible, totally eliminated to achieve an effective ketogenic diet. Sugary foods such as soda, fruit juice, smoothies, cake, ice cream, and of course, candy, all the things that we love, got to drop those. So grains and starches, so wheat-based products such as rice, which I know a lot of you are going to struggle with, including myself, pasta, which is my weakness, even cereal. So all those, you got to cut those out. Fruit. So you'd eliminate all fruit except small portions of berries such as strawberries. So you can't eat a lot of fruit. It'll completely mess up this diet. So as far as beans, peas, kidney beans, lentils, chickpeas, etc., can't have those. Root vegetables such as potatoes, sweet potatoes, carrots, parsnips, can't have those. Low fat or diet products, they're highly processed and often high in carbs. Got to avoid that. There's lots of powdered types of protein meals sitting behind me you might see that are full of carbs. So you really want to avoid those. Low fat and diet products, you don't need them when you do this, and it will probably hurt you more than it helps. So condiments that include a lot of sugar and unhealthy fat, you'd want to avoid. Processed vegetable oils and also mayonnaise, for example, can't have. Alcohol. Many alcoholic beverages can throw you out of ketosis, and the goal of this diet is to put you into ketosis, which you can look up. With the ketogenic diet, we call keto. The goal is to go into ketosis. Alcoholic beverages can throw you out of ketosis. So this is a great time to not drink and instead to really focus on fitness and diet. Sugar-free diet foods are often high in sugar alcohols, which can affect also ketosis, and they tend to be highly processed and would backfire. So that's basically it. So I'm going to try to go really quick through this. I don't want to take up too much of your time, but in terms of giving you an example of a routine diet. So start the week, let's say on a Monday, for breakfast, bacon, egg, and vegetables. For lunch, chicken salad with olive oil and cheese. Could be cheddar cheese, for example. For dinner, salmon with asparagus, and you could use some butter in cooking the asparagus. Tuesday, breakfast, eggs, tomatoes, and cheese omelet. For lunch, ideally almond milk, peanut butter, and cocoa powder milkshake. And you can add some stevia, which is a sweetener. It's a sugar substitute derived from plant leaves. So you can use that to sweeten it up as desired. If you'd like that, you don't have to add that. Dinner, meatballs, cheese, and vegetables, for example. So on Wednesday, and you could switch these around and you could eat breakfast 3 times a day. You can move these around as needed. Wednesday, for breakfast, sugar-free yogurt with peanut butter, cocoa powder, and stevia if desired. For lunch, shrimp salad with olive oil and avocado is great. Dinner, pork chops with cheese, broccoli, and a salad. Thursday, breakfast, omelet with avocado, salsa, peppers, onions, and plenty of spices if you'd like. For lunch, a handful of nuts and celery sticks with guacamole and salsa. For dinner, chicken stuffed with pesto and cream cheese and some vegetables. And we're almost done. Go through the full 7 days. Friday, breakfast, sugar-free yogurt with peanut butter, cocoa powder, and stevia. You remember that from before. You may end up wanting that every day, which you can do. You don't have to have the eggs if you don't want, and you don't have to have this. You can interchange these. For lunch, beef stir-fry cooked in coconut oil with vegetables. For dinner, a bunless burger with bacon and cheese. So a burger without the bun. That's not easy sometimes to conceptualize that, but that's what you really need to do. Saturday, for breakfast, ham and cheese omelet with veggies. Lunch, ham and cheese slices with nuts. Saturday's kind of ham day. Dinner, white fish, egg, and spinach cooked in coconut oil. On Sunday, for breakfast, fried eggs with bacon and mushrooms. For lunch, another bunless burger with cheese and guacamole. And for dinner, steak and eggs with a side salad. So that's quite a bit of information, I realize. You may have to rewind and look at some of those again. If you have any questions, feel free to message me about the specific diet. For me, this diet works wonders. At first, you feel very weak and you're just craving pasta and rice. And it's hard to explain how strong of a craving it is. It's almost a desperation. But as you make the transition into ketosis, as it's called, your body ends up adjusting and eventually thriving. So you go from being a bit exhausted at first to being highly energized. For myself personally, it takes about a week or at the very most 10 days to 14 days. And suddenly, in the midst of this ketosis diet, keto, I'm totally energized. I feel amazing. And the weight is just shedding off of my body. You'll crave carbs, pasta, rice like crazy. And if you cheat and eat it, it'll taste like absolute paradise. And you'll have a bunch of energy in the beginning stages. Later into it, once you've achieved ketosis and get used to this diet, if you cheat and eat a bowl of spaghetti, for example, or a bunch of rice, it'll have an opposite effect. Actually, it makes you feel tired. So in the early stages, if you cheat and eat these carbs, you'll suddenly feel energized. But in the later stages, once you properly achieve ketosis and you're primed in this diet, if you cheat and eat the carbs, they actually have an opposite effect and you'll feel really quite tired. So for those of you that may not be quite ready for keto, which I realize some may not be, another option is simply to begin with portion control. That's one of the simplest diets out there. So if you're not into this, portion control is a great way to start. Anybody can do it. You simply lower the size of your portions, the quantity of the food you eat at every meal. So you basically eat less of everything in every meal. Cut your portions by a third, for example, to begin with. So whatever you usually eat, get rid of about 33% of it. Get smaller portions. Don't get 2 cheeseburgers at McDonald's. I guess it'd be 1.5, but go for 1 and hopefully that works. And after a few weeks, try to cut closer to about half of your normal food intake. So everything you normally eat, breakfast, lunch, dinner, snacks, eat less. If you're drinking soda, don't finish it. You drink half a can instead of a whole can, and then eventually try to just get rid of soda, for example. If you're eating a chocolate bar every night, eat 3/4 at first, and then eventually eat half a chocolate bar, and eventually, hopefully, you stop those chocolate bars. But portion control coupled with exercise will help push you in the right direction. And you can effectively lose weight on a diet where you're simply eating smaller portions, which means you're taking in less calories. And by taking less calories and exercising, it has a compounding effect where you can lose quite a bit of weight, get in shape that way too. Keto is by far going to be much faster, in my opinion, and very effective, and it's quite healthy if you do a lot of research. But portion control also works, and it's quite simple. However, you will feel a bit hungrier on the keto diet. You don't really feel hungry. You're always full, which makes it quite easy. Portion control, you're always missing that third or that half that you've carved out. So if you can pull this off, stay active, as well as diet, you can come out of your current situation feeling healthier, fitter, stronger, more focused, more energized, and you can really hit the ground running, back in shape and very fit. Please remember to talk to your doctor about any health concerns before starting a new diet or fitness plan. So at that point, I appreciate some of the comments that we've had. I want to thank you for joining our live broadcast. Please don't forget to click thumbs up if you enjoyed it, which I hope you did, and subscribe if you found this broadcast to be helpful. And other than that, I thank you all for joining. Hope you all stay very safe. Until next time, thank you very much for joining the Night Watch Show. Goodbye.